Hey guys, welcome back to Clover Mobile. In today's video, I've got like 5 things I want to go through. The first of which is a new event that's coming up. We've got the Hall of Illusions rewards that should be in your mail for the extended rewards. They put on to like 75, 85 and stuff like that. We got Longrus and Uno coming. And then I want to talk about the Event Arena shop and Event Arena team. So we've got a bunch in this one. The first thing we're going to go through is the events. Now, the one interesting thing is I always look for my updates on the Asia server because I figure it updates like 12 hours before the US server. However, this is a very interesting thing to me where if I jump over and we take a look at the Asia server, you can see we don't have the event tab up the top. So I don't know if that means this stuff doesn't come to Asia or if Asia's just delayed on getting news in the thing. I'm not too sure. For instance, if you look at issue fixing here on Asia, it's on the left hand side, it says 22nd of Jan, whereas that same notice came on global on the 19th of Jan. So there's something weird between servers. I hate it when games do this weird thing between servers, but if you're on Asia server, hopefully we get these events as well. But like I said, at the moment, it just doesn't appear in the info, in the events on theirs for some reason. I don't really know. But basically what we have here is a bunch of those things that we got. I think we got these around Christmas time last time. I feel like it was around Julie's time when we got these. So about a month ago, where stamina consumption is discounted, and then we get increased Yule. So this is for January 29 to 30. 31, you can see we get all these different buffs coming, which is huge. And because of this, and because we had this event basically a month ago, I'm now going with the strategy, this is me personally, you don't have to follow this, of just saving all my stamina resources until these events come around. Because now that we've had them like a month apart, and keeping in mind this one goes for about, how long is it? Like 15 days. So this one, and they are different. The best one for me is the stamina consumption discount. That's fantastic. And when it's tied in with multiple other buffs, that's even better. But hey, I'm happy to just dump all my stamina on the discounted days because you're effectively getting double efficiency on anything you want to farm. Yes, on the 31st, you can see we get mage experience up, which is useful if you are farming for experience. But at the end of the day, when you're getting a discount on stamina and a buff, kind of like this day here especially, those are the most valuable. But I'm now going to say, and this is what I'm doing here, if you can look at my inventory from this DICE event, I wasn't purposely doing this. I was just saving up stamina just because I run multiple accounts. It was the weekend. I've had stuff on with the kids' school holidays, so I haven't had time to just grind out my stamina, even though it takes 2 seconds to do. And it just turns out that I've ended up saving a ton of stamina. But that is going to be my strategy from now on. And for free to play, I think it's a pretty safe strategy. Wait for these high value events for stamina where you get increased stamina efficiency, and that's when I'm going to use these. So I highly recommend that to you guys, saving that if you want to. Once again, it's not the end of the world if you don't. But yeah, there's a ton of value to be had, essentially turning that 26 stamina boxes into, what's that, 52? But it's provided I can be active enough on those days and burn all of that stamina. So that is what I am planning to do. Like I said, that event is starting fairly soon. I didn't even check the first day, which I think was, when is it? When's the first day of it? January 29. We're currently the 24th over here in Australia. So yeah, that's probably like what, 5-6 days away when we get this one. So just be aware of it. I would start saving your stamina pots for that. So then you can go farm ham on whatever you want to on the discount day. Then during these days, farm whatever's got the best value for you. Then we get another stamina consumption discount, bond collected. So this is a good day to do bond. If you want to do bond heavily, you can go ahead and do it here because it's discounted and you get the bond. So you're going to really skyrocket those bond increases if you've got a bunch of characters you want to do, or you want to get your reputations up and stuff like that. So that's what we're looking at for that event. Now, moving on past that, yeah, one little thing is if we go over onto the Asia server, over here and we go to the challenges, keep in mind after your next daily reset we do get back into this one. This is always my, like, I get so excited for when this rotation comes around because as we know, we all want to get that 3 speed. Whoops, where are we at? We want to get that 3 speed increase. I've only ever had one purple drop, one legendary drop from one of these, and it was an attack one. So I'm really hoping one day I can get this 3 speed as a free to play because it would absolutely change the world for me and allow me to match those speed ties. But that's just a little thing coming up. We are I've got it on Asia server, so it is after the next reset for everyone else. Moving on past that, we do have the banners coming up as well, which is Longrus and Yuno. I'm going to do a whole video on that, so just keep that in mind. But that is about a day and a half away if my conversions are correct. So keep that in a day and a half for US servers. It's about a day away for Asia servers. So keep that in mind. They are coming, but I'll go more in depth into that in its own video. The other thing is in the mail, I did get my Hall of Illusions. If I go to red mail, you can see you get your Hall of Illusions, basically gifts that they increased. They've finally come in. People were asking me a lot about when they were coming. So check your mail. They should be there and you should be able to get those rewards. Moving on past that, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the arena event, because I've had a lot of people ask me about the shop. Now, with the shop, my strategy is very, very simple. It is wait till the event is done. Because if we go back over here and we take a look at it, and we go here, you can see the arena event has 5 days and 11 hours left to go. This is over on the US server. If we go to the arena shop, you can see we've got 8 days to go. So you got a couple days after the event ends to go ahead and do your purchasing. I'm not going to try and predict it all now. Keep in mind, this is the only daily purchase, which is the Yule. And if you miss out on a little bit of Yule because you would have had more points, like who cares? It doesn't really matter. So I am just completely ignoring that. Everything else is like account purchases. So it's only one-time purchases. So I am just simply waiting until the event ends to see where I get where I get in the rankings, to see what rewards I can get, because obviously depending on what league you get into, it changes the rewards you're going to get. And then once I know what league I finish and how many points I get additional, which, you know, it's not going to be crazy difference if you're in gold compared to if you're in challenger, like it's 160 different. It doesn't make a massive difference, but it depends on how many wins you get on your offense versus how many losses you get, being that you get 35 points for a win or 15 points for a loss. It is going to heavily impact it. At the moment, luckily, I'm on 100% victory for offense. I just had my first 2 losses on defense. My defense was doing pretty well besides that. So yeah, with the shop, just wait till the end and then go ahead and do your purchases. For me personally, I'm thinking about picking up a single copy of Yuno. I'm not overly stressed about getting the second copy unless I get a copy from my ranking. If I get a copy of Yuno from my ranking, then I will pick up the 2 to get him to the 2-dupe stage so we can get that extra passive unlock. Otherwise, I'm only going to pick up 1, and then I will pick up the extra dupes of the skill page, because I think this is a nice skill page just to have. 40% chance to inflict instant HP recovery on an enemy for 1 turn upon landing a crit. I feel like this can have utility on just any debuffer unit, and getting that chance up with extra dupes is going to be nice. I plan that I should get at least 1 copy of this from the rankings, and then I go ahead and pick up 2 and I get it to 2-dupe. I'd be pretty happy with that. Now, me personally, past that, like I said, I'll look to pick up 2 of them, pick up 1 Yuno. Depending on how much more I've got, then I'll distribute that between... I mean, I don't really care about this, but maybe I pick it up just for the sake of it. I'm not going to get the frame unless I just have a bunch of excess. Besides that, stamina, honestly, stamina is always nice to me, especially when we look at those events coming up, although I think this goes straight into your stamina. However, when we look at the event range, this shop will be open during that event period, so I'll probably save this and collect this during that event where we get the discount on stamina so that I can get extra efficiency once again through that stamina. But that is my basic play. Once again, I'm just going to add it up at the end once I've got all my points, and then I'm just going to purchase based on that. And if I've got excess, I will buy the lobsters because, hey, I want better gear drops because my gear drops absolutely suck. You guys know how it is. So that is what I'm looking at for the shop. As for teams, like I said, my defense was 100% until I just had 2 losses a couple of hours ago. But really, I am just being the scum of the earth toxic person who is running speed meta. However, I have seen some people running some different things. If you want to know my presets, it's just alt, and then we're doing the alt and the AoE, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, to be fair with Julius, you can probably do the alt first, would probably be the play, because he's going to attack someone that's weak to it. There's no tanks to bait him, so he's always going to kill someone with that alt and then move into the AoE. That's probably honestly a better play, but I'm just going to leave it there. Don't really care. It's basically, if I outspeed, I win anyway, so I'm not too stressed about that. But I have seen some people, especially with max dupe Julius, Sorry, not Julius. Dude, I always get Julius and Vengeance mixed up. William Julius. It's the L's in the middle of the names that always confuse me. But Vengeance at max dupe. I've been seeing some people get some really good things with him. I've seen some people also using like full tank Noels. So like if you use Vengeance, you outspeed enemy Finral and Veltos. You get the fortify buff up. You put the counter attack up. Then you have a Noel on like a big defensive build with like 3 to 4 defense pieces. So that with that fortifier, she can tank out whatever your enemy's speed has to offer with their speed. Then you have your Julius in there as well, and you can sub in whatever unit you want in that last spot, preferably a tanky unit. Or I've seen some people using either Licked or the new Fuegoleon because they both have the same LR passive, which is the immortality below 30. And if you put them with stun immunity, that means they're guaranteed to get an attack. I have seen people trying it with both Licked and the seasonal Fuegoleon, because then you've got 2 units that are immune to death, and if they've got the stun protection thing on them, they're protected from the stuns. They're both guaranteed to get a hit in. Now, it's not 100% perfect because enemy Julius can be an issue, but I have seen different people experimenting with different things like that. Obviously, I haven't done it myself. My Licked isn't built. My Fuegoleon isn't built yet. I only just picked him up from the exchange, but those are some options I have been seeing. I've seen some interesting Charlotte teams, but it's normally running Charlotte with Vengeance, and then people stack obviously the Julius on top of that, and then the main one I've been seeing is tanky Lotuses with that. But there are some different options, and that gives you the blue lockout. It basically can catch some people out who are using Charlotte sweeping in this event, because you can't use that skill 2 and you don't get the additional procs, and then you got some tanky units and you can slap them. So the Charlotte blue team can catch some people out if they are trying to sweep using the red Charlotte to get that skill 2 mark on to get the additional turns, because then they miss access to that and it kind of catches people out. So those are some thoughts that I have on teams. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's pretty much speed meta. Even if you don't have the 3-speed Carvestone like I don't, just put your Finral and Veltos in there and it deters people from attacking you at least. Like I feel like it takes a ballsy person to run into these types of teams, not knowing how fast you are. Obviously people will see me and go, oh, that's Vulcan. I know he only has a 2-speed Carvestone, get wrecked. But you guys get the gist. It's a bit of a deterrent if you don't want to be attacked as much, but it's completely up to you what you do. At the end of the day, it's pretty toxic. Just try and win all your attacks. You'll get as many points as you can, and away you go. But like I said, guys, that is it. Main takeaway from this video as well, once again, to recap, is that I would start saving my stamina for these events coming up, and then burn it during the event, and you get double efficiency on your stamina. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.